What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bricks and Toys, the most unexperienced Lego YouTube channel in all of YouTube. My name is Brandon. Today's build has got us shake it like a Polaroid picture, because today we are tackling Lego Ideas number 53. Now, this $80 set is set number 21345. It is an 18 and older set, and it does have 516 pieces. Now, this is number 53, like I said, kicking off the new year of Lego Ideas, following up with the end of last year, which was number 52, the Orient Express. Coming off of such a larger Lego Ideas build and several others that we had last year, the box does feel a little bit small to me, but like I said, this is only a 516 piece set in comparison to the 1,500 to 2,500 piece builds. As we come around, we'll take a look at the back of the box. You guys can see here, it's got a bunch of lovely colors. It even has some special Polaroid pieces, which I feel like contributes to the higher cost of this. This is one of the more expensive builds, coming in about 15 to 16 cents per piece. Now, we are looking at about 3.5 inches wide and about 3.5 inches tall for this set. Now, there is a lot of really interesting factors I do want to talk about with this set, but I don't want to go into too much detail. But before we get into all of that stuff, I just want to say my voice is still healing from being sick. I am filming these videos for you guys every 2 days to make sure that they're filmed right before they come out to you guys. So I'm taking my time. I'm filming every video. I'm trying to get better, because every video is a few more days down the road. But my voice is still like, it's not the best. So one really interesting detail that I want to talk about with the Polaroid camera is these things came out, the SX-70, from 71 to 82. And they were a pretty high-end fancy camera. Some were foldable, all metal bodies. And what's interesting is the Polaroid OneStep land camera actually came out in 1977 as a cheaper alternative to the SX-70. When we look at this Lego set, we're just looking at the nostalgia of it and how cool all of that is. I mean, when this set is done being built, it will be placed with my Pac-Man and my Nintendo sets right here. And if I had my Atari up here, it'd be all in the same box. Because we're so blinded with the nostalgia and the retro of it, we're missing the biggest glaring detail, which is this is the OneStep 1000 or the Land 1000, however you want to say it, and not an SX-70. This is a derivative of the SX-70. If it was the SX-70, we would have more of the intricate metal body, foldable camera type style. So I do want to point that out, because I do love cameras, and I love these cameras. That's one of the things that I noticed with these. In fact, one thing I did want to say to back up my theory on this is if you guys go to the all-powerful eBay for your used goods, you guys will actually see SX-70 cameras coming in at about $100 on eBay, where you see the OneStep from 1977, which is the cheaper alternative, coming in at about $50. To put it in perspective, this is the iPhone 15, where the SX-70 was the 15 Pro. I only know this because of how much I really enjoy cameras, and I actually used to play with one of these. It was a cheaper, newer version that my mom had, and I wanted to take a quick second as we go to the desk for the unboxing and show you guys a Polaroid picture I took 20 years ago. And then we'll get right into the unboxing of this set. So coming on in here, let's just take a look. Look at that. This is a kiddie motel that I made when I was 11 years old. Ha ha, laugh about the guy who likes kitties, okay? I was a weird kid at 11. But what's really cool about this picture is you see this cat right here. Then you see a Dale Earnhardt Jr. NASCAR. I love NASCAR, so I thought the cats needed some NASCAR. Then you see a GTO up here. These two cars are missing, but this is a car you guys have probably seen in the background of a lot of my videos. And check this out. 20 years later, I still have that cat in the photo and that car from the photo. In case you guys want to know, this is Bricks and Toys 20 years ago on the San Francisco Pier looking out at Alcatraz. What a trip, right? Now that trip down memory lane is over. Here we got the box. We got a punch tab here, punch tab here, and then we pull it open. Kind of hard to do with one hand with the camera. There we go. Let's get our pour out. Look at that, nice. That came out like a nice, good, healthy Mexican food poop. So we got 1, we got 3, we got 2, we got 4, we got some plates, and we do have our books. Let's take a look at our books. Okay, so I just tore everything out, and I'm starting to shake everything out, and look at this. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, everybody, but here is our Polaroid pictures. We'll get more onto this with the review. Look at that, that's Lego House. That's someone eating some food, and that is the inventor with his film. That's pretty cool. We do have, it looks like 4 stickers. We got for the exposure setting, the 1000, the front sticker, and the OneStep sticker. Here we have our book, nothing too fancy. It is a pretty small book. Don't forget to get your 20 points when you buy your new sets, everybody. So it looks like we have about 144 steps and 114 pages. And then it does have a little tutorial on how to load the film, work the camera. So that'll be pretty cool when we get there. Let's see if there's any build steps in the book. Of course, there's all the stuff about the inventor, the original Lego ideas, but no, it goes straight into the build. So with that one, everybody, I'm super excited to get this built, go into the review. I still have so much more to talk about with this set with you guys. Enjoy the time lapse, and we'll be back for the review. Well, let's dive into our review of the SX-70 Lego Ideas Polaroid OneStep camera. Let's just start off with just the general cosmetics of everything. I really like the brick-built coloring. I think that's a really good touch. I like the exposure button. I like how this is a functional button. We'll get to that in a second. There is a sticker right here that says OneStep. That's how it was known in America, but in Europe it also was known as the 1000. So you can choose between Europe and American on that. We do have another sticker element right down here that says Polaroid land camera. Here on the side we have some exposed studs, but overall really nice job on closing everything up. You can see green in that gap. Not the best. These exposed studs do kind of take away from everything, I do have to say. More exposed studs, more over here. This overall unit right here for the viewfinder is really nice and smooth. I like that. More of the same over on this side. One thing is with the 77 version, which is this version right here, they did come with an attachment point for a flash finder or whatever you want to put it, right here on top. Looking at the bottom, it's just a lot of negative studs. Before we get into it, check out some features. I do want to look at the one on my computer from the Lego Ideas website and point out a few things that I've noticed that is different. If we come over here, you can see that the original designer did put an exposure button. I think Lego did win out with the quality on this. Lego also did win out with the function. The old function looked like the sticker elements were to go through the front here and then come out with that little wheel, where now with the Lego version we have the button. One thing that this version does win out, if you look very carefully at this photo, which there isn't very many of the back of this, you can see that they did do some kind of brick built slopage here in the back to really cover it up, all those studs. Where with the Lego version, it's all plates. I'm going to guess this was probably more costly than to do it the way that Lego did. We also see some sticker elements right here underneath, which is the loading instructions. We don't have that with ours. And there is some element right here of sticker maybe. indicating the white around the lens with a transparent smoke circle right there as well. There is a few things that the designer did differently that I side with him, and there are some things I side with Lego. Like for one, I side with Lego on changing the function of the buttons and the style of this button. I also side with Lego for making this now brick built right through here. But I do side with the designer on making this more sloped and smooth, and also putting stickers like here at the bottom showing how it's used, as well as a transparent element making up the center of that lens. There is not a lot of pictures on the LEGO Ideas website of this. You can see the original idea for the cartridge. If you look, here we have a bunch of printed elements on ours, and I like the LEGO version of this one a lot better. So now let's take a look at the feature. And one of the coolest features is if you take your cartridge right here, you can dump out your photos. Taking another good look at the cartridge, like I said, printed, colored bricks, really nice. Negative studs, kind of reminds me of like with the Atari cartridges and the game cartridges for the Nintendo. But, you know, that's boxy things from the time. Like I said before, we do have the Lego house, which is a representation of Lego. And then we have Edward, the co-founder of Polaroid, with his invention. It's a famous photograph right there. And then this is supposed to be a picture of the designer's sister while on vacation. One really cool thing to see is the idea maker, the Lego idea creator, and then Lego themselves taking the idea. So this is like the evolution of how we got here. Somebody made the product, somebody loved the product, made a Lego version, and then Lego made his version. So coming back around to the camera, you can see when I talk about that smoke colored piece, this one's just black. I actually might switch that out with a smoke colored piece because, like I said, I agree with the original designer on that idea. One thing I did want to say is also they are blacked out on the back with all the Lego group stuff on them. That does really help with authenticity. It is cool that Lego did make this element, even if it is more expensive. So to open this up, we do open it up just like that. You guys can get a look at the internals versus the original design's internals right there. Pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to load in our picture. There's a little slot somewhere in here. There we go. And it kind of locks in. You can hear it engage. Pop that shut. Drop it down. And then, there we go. Unlike the real Polaroid, these pictures are perfectly printed and they are nice and clean. No overexposure issues and no having to shake it like a Polaroid picture to get them to develop. I do think that this is a thumbs up product, even though it is expensive, but you have to pay the piper on these expensive type pieces to produce. So with that, let's come out and let's share some final wrap-up thoughts on this set. So wrapping up this video, I just want to talk a little bit more about the Polaroid camera, this model and the model that it takes after all any Polaroids. So one really cool detail I wanted to point out was about the Polaroid cartridges themselves. I don't know how many prints came in each cartridge. I think it was between 12 and 24, somewhere in that amount. But one really cool idea that the designers had for the Polaroid OneStep was, let's put the battery pack for the camera in the cartridge. So that way, if you run out of battery, it makes no sense because you should have already ran out of ink. You will run out of paper, ink, whatever you want to call it, before you would run out of the battery. So even though it was a really wasteful design, I could see a lot of people maybe trying to recycle the batteries out of these back in the day. Honestly, that is a really good idea. That way you're not halfway through a cartridge and you have to risk opening up the camera to replace the battery. The battery is part of the cartridge, and that was one of the contributing factors to why these cartridges were so expensive. In terms of expensive, they actually still make these cameras. And you can get a basic one for about $100 with your first roll of film included on Amazon, or you can get one that you can, this is what's funny about it, app controlled via Bluetooth with your phone for around $200. Both are Polaroid branded. The film cartridge, the sheets of film, will cost you about $70 for 3 cartridges of film, even in today's standards. These are still very expensive, but the biggest purpose of this camera was to allow people to take pictures in the moment and not have to wait a day or 2 days to get their photos back, or however long it was back in the 70s to get your film developed. A lot of Gen Zs and younger will not understand the meaning of 1 hour photo. Who remembers driving by all the drugstores growing up? I'm from the 90s and I can remember it. 1 hour photo, 1 hour photo. It was a big deal. Nowadays we have digital. We print it out on our home printer on some photo paper, and that's fine. But there once was a time when we needed instant gratification, and that's where the Polaroid OneStep came in. Going to the actual Polaroid OneStep, I did want to, with it in my hands, show you guys the functionality without trying to one-hand it with the review, and show you guys how it works. I mean, as simple as that. You open up the thing, you take your picture, slide it in, it locks in, you get that gratification. Pop it shut. Then you line it up for y'all. Get a good angle here. And pop that sucker out. And ta-da! This is like one of my favorite new Lego trinkets to show people that don't understand Lego when they come to visit. There is a lot of people that come to visit that don't understand Lego. And when they see the collection that I have amassed, they just go, wow. And one of the things is I love the Lego sets that when they say, wow, I could take it off the shelf, put this in, make things pop, or make Mario jump, or the Pac-Man go all around. I love those type of sets because then they go, wow, wow. It's just fun to show people how magical Lego is. So that does it for the video. So if you guys made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much. My voice, it must sound terrible to you guys. I almost have this microphone adjusted right where I need it. I'm just waiting a few videos to try to change some minor settings in the audio to see if it needs to go up or down a click. I think I have it, but it's so hard to tell right now with being sick. Like I said, I am waiting so long in between builds to bring you guys these videos. I usually would do something like this to where I film maybe 3 videos in a day, and that's almost a week's worth of content. But now I'm doing a week's worth of content in a week, trying to get better and trying to take my time and being here for you guys. Just for funsies, I did want to show you guys how high my level of dedication is to this commitment to film per video. Take a look at that, everybody, right there. That is a big box of Lego. Now that is the Lego that we have ordered on the 1st that we didn't pick up in store. You guys won't see this until another 4 days. And that means I have to wait at this point about 5 days to show you this. I'm so excited to get into this box, but before we get into this box, we got to do Rocket the Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy up next. So that's going to be your next video. And with that, I just want to say the traditional, if you guys like what you're seeing here, if you guys are liking everything, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Rocket the Raccoon coming up in a couple days, because after that, we're getting into this box and getting into all of the small things that Lego came out with, and it is incredible. So, thank you for watching. See you on the next video.